Hello, everyone. We are Team 23, and we're going to do a presentation of our key findings from doing the AI slot machine warm-up activity. So our original prompt that we put into our Claude code was create a slot machine app that uses vanilla web technology like HTML, SSS, JavaScript, and platform APIs. The slot machine should make fun of AI, like you're winning tokens and spending tokens. The specific model we used was Opus 4.6. Now, in terms of how we structured the experiment, we followed the instructions. We did 50 baseline runs with the same model and cleaned the session every time. In terms of what we measured, the first runs were pretty messy. It was a massive file. We used around 10,000 tokens, and it took 3 to 5 minutes. In terms of the things that we judged in our rubric, we looked at app and code quality from a scale ranging from poor to exceeding expectations.
For our refinement process, we had four refinement runs that got smaller each time. For the first run, we took 5 out of the 50, and our main focus was to try and fix a lot of the very obvious bugs, such as having a correct full screen layout, issues with certain icons not showing up when you scaled the screen. And the other thing that we decided to add in our first prompt was telling it to try to copy existing gambling sites, such as like Stake, in order to get a more cohesive look. After that, for the next step, we decided to focus on the animations specifically. So we wanted to recreate how actual slot machines work. So we wanted to make sure there was a consistent like 3-rail structure. We wanted to make sure the stopping was staggered, so it didn't look really robotic. And we also added a lot of animated win messages to make it more interesting. For step 4, we wanted to make the actual app more interesting because at this point it wasn't as fun to play. So we made it a 3x3 grid, so it considered everything, not just the middle line. We made sure all the emojis it was using were AI themed, so it fit the theme more. And additionally, we had it write more AI themed jokes. And then we also added in fake microtransactions and a bet scaling system. Finally, for step 5, where we were just focusing on one candidate, we focused on game design, and specifically trying to make it so that the slot machine would actually win money for the house, so it would act like an actual slot machine. And we made it more satisfying to do bigger bets and raise the ability to make bigger bets. For the refinement itself, a lot of the pros we saw was that whenever we refined, it did end up with a better looking app. It was more satisfying. And refinement allowed us to add in new features that we as a group decided were good that we would like to add. But some of the cons was that it always added more code and more complexity. There were a few cases in step 2 and 3 where it actually broke the code, like it was already working, but then through refinement, the code broke. And it was seemingly random in what helped or hurt. It was hard to tell whether a certain prompt would lead to a good or bad result. So our chosen candidate at the end was 10. The pros is that out of every other candidate, it had a great UI design. Even from like step 2, it was one that continuously got better. The effects on it were really satisfying, and the sound effects were also very satisfying. And when we asked it to add a fake microtransaction store, it was the funniest one. But some of the cons is like any of the other ones, the code became very messy. And at the end, it still looks like an AI-made app. But overall, it was a better experience, and I think it matched the theme of kind of being AI sarcastic. Here's actually a video of the final results, just so you can get an idea of what we ended up with.